And finally, defense contractor Lockheed Martin has unveiled the success.
Shut the up. You think you know the news? You can't handle the news! Here is what the is up. Lockheed Martin is that company that makes a bunch of fighter planes for the USA, making it one of the top Liberty dispensers in the world. Their top-secret engineering division, Skunk Works, constantly comes up with better and better ways to democracy the out of terrorists and the like. So November 1st of 2013, they announced the development of the SR-72. Do you know how patriotic this makes me feel? I first read about this in a library, and I started crying red, white, and blue tears. Then someone came up to me and was like, "I don't think that's supposed to happen, you might want to go to the hospital or something." So I punched him in the face and yelled, "Commie!" Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, you're about to. It all started 50 years ago in 1963, with the first flight of the Lockheed Martin YF-12 prototype. It was going to be an interceptor aircraft, and it was fast. I'm talking about 2,000 miles per hour fast. But alas, it was cancelled. Wanna know why? Because the plane was outrunning the missiles that it fired. So you know what Skunk Works decides to do? They were like, this is too much freedom to go to waste. We're gonna turn this thing into a reconnaissance plane and send it to outer space. So in 1964, they did. The only way it could reach its top speed of 2,200 miles per hour was by climbing into the upper atmosphere. Pilots of what was now known as the SR-71 Blackbird had to wear specialized spacesuits that became NASA's prototype for what astronauts would eventually wear on the moon.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This thing was so fast, it didn't even have armor or weapons. That's because it went so fast, there wasn't a single bullet or missile invented yet that could keep up with it. It literally outran whatever was gunning for it. Unfortunately, in the Blackbird's lifetime, the US launched spy satellites and developed better communications technology that rendered much of the SR-71's job obsolete. The SR-71 program was terminated in 1989, and the last Blackbird flew on October 9, 1999. It remains the fastest aircraft ever created, and the highest flying aircraft ever created. When it was retired in 1990, Ohio Senator John Glenn, who was also an astronaut mind you, gave a speech to the Senate saying, "Mr. President, the termination of the SR-71 was a grave mistake and could place our nation at a serious disadvantage in the event of a future crisis. If you were president at this time, would you listen to the advice of space pioneer, astronaut, and all-around American badass John Glenn?" Well, the president didn't. The SR-71 was never reactivated, and the hole in the Air Force's lineup was never filled. Here's where current events comes in. Out of nowhere, Lockheed Martin is like, "Hey, we heard you like the SR-71, so we're gonna give you the SR-72! How could the SR-72 live up to the hype and legacy of its predecessor, you might ask? If you didn't ask, then I'm going to answer the question anyway. It's simple. Speed. The SR-71 maxed out at just above Mach 3. The SR-72 goes Mach 6. Seriously. That's 4,600 miles per hour, or 6 times the speed of sound. If your face doesn't melt from the sheer Murica of this plane, the speed would probably cause serious facial damage. That's why, unlike the SR-71, the SR-72 will be unmanned. We don't know much else about it, other than that it's powered by a revolutionary turbine complemented by a breakthrough in ramjet technology, and that it could be flying by 2030. Oh yeah, and the Air Force wants it. So to the enemies of America, terrorists and communists alike, watch out. The son of the Blackbird is gonna come for you.